G'day everybody. Well, since I haven't done a decent lighting video in a while, and since I got this the other day, I figured I may as well do a bit of a video on it. You don't normally see stuff like this around, especially here in Australia, but this is a vintage gas lamppost. Runs on LPG, I think. I'm guessing that's what it was when it was still in service. I don't know how old it is. Got it off my neighbour who's pulling his house down. He very kindly said I could take it out and keep it. I got the pole and everything with it, although I did have to cut it out of the ground with an angle grinder. Weren't sure how deep it went down or how far the actual gas tubing inside it went, so we just cut it out. But yeah, it's all there, and it is a proper gas as well. It wasn't just there for decoration, it was hooked up at some point, even though we found it wasn't connected to a gas main anymore, thank Christ, because it would have gone bang otherwise. That's your copper feed for it, and that just goes up length of the steel post. And then up into here there's a little ball valve or something, I think, and then it goes straight in. Yes, it is sitting on a Tecum's Hermetique compressor. It's just there because there's virtually nothing holding this together. It's so badly corroded, which is what all the tape's for. The old paints all come off up here. That's the end that would have been subjected to the pretty high temperatures when this thing was running, because that's where all the exhaust is going. You get air coming in from the bottom and through the other gaps in the glass, and then burns with the fuel, and then the exhaust just comes straight out the top here. It's a little bronze raven type thing. It's definitely going to need a good clean up, a good de-rust and repaint. Well, it's nice to see the gold is still on it. That's actually gold on the glass. So the glass is in really good nick. It's not broken, apart from a little bit up the top here. It's actually pretty good, these panels, so I'm going to have to very carefully take all those out. Hopefully the frog collar hasn't actually welded itself on. I'll see if I can actually get that screw undone and get it off, but if it's welded on I may actually have to cut it off with a grinder, which I really hope I don't have to, but we'll just have to see how we go with it. But we'll get it off first and get all the tape off and strip it apart and actually have a bit more of a look at it. Okay, well, I managed to separate the lantern from the post fairly easily actually. It wasn't welded on with rust or anything, which is good. The frog collar just slid straight off. All I need to do now is just undo that flare nut. I should be able to bring this thing inside and clean it up, take it all apart and start de-rusting it. But, I'm going to be taking all the gas out of this as well, the LPG pipe and the manifold for the mantles and everything. I might repurpose that pipe in there and use it to mount a 70 watt high pressure sodium globe or something on it, because sadly LPG is just far too dangerous. I mean, these old things did have the potential of becoming a bomb if the pilot light blew out on it and the whole thing fills up with LPG. All you need is a little spark and the whole thing would go off, so I'm going to not taking that risk with it anymore. It's just, yeah, just not worth it. So I'm going to stick a nice high pressure sodium globe in it, which will still give off the nice warm orangey light these used to, and it'll also be much safer as well. So I'll undo that and we'll get it inside and start taking these glass panels off and cleaning them up. Okay, well, I've started disassembling this, and it is dirty and old. There's rubbish everywhere from it. This thing hasn't been touched probably since it was installed, so it's yeah, definitely got a fair few years worth of history in it, let's just say. It's actually made by Gasglow, who I typed that name into the internet before, and it actually came up with a few results for these lanterns. You can still buy them after all this time, believe it or not. Not that anybody would probably be interested in running them with electric lighting being in now, but I did find it interesting for the fact that you can still get them and get parts for these. These panels are actually fairly easy to take out. I've already started. I've got one out. They just slide in. You can just drop them out like that. And then they just sit back in. Whereas these ones are a little bit trickier just because they've got metal tabs, which I'm going to have to be very careful with unfolding, because otherwise it'll just break apart because it's so fragile with the rust. But once I get them out, I can finally just hit that with the flap disc and the grinder. Got shocking lighting conditions, I apologise. And I'll yeah, be able to knock off a lot of this rust and get it ready for a repaint, respray. And then of course all that's going to come out. It's yeah, Craig and Sealy Limited. Don't know who they are. I'll stick that in the internet next and see what I can get. But yeah, of course all that's going to be coming out anyway. I might leave that tube in actually and use that as a support for the bulb when I put a globe in it. But yeah, onwards and upwards. Alrighty, well, there's the lantern stripped down as far as it's going to go in terms of as much as I need to. Taking the rest of the glass panels out. I'm going to take those in and clean them up. The other ones for this are inside. They've come up alright. But I'm going to have to definitely rebuild this whole top section. I'm going to put some, clean all the rust off first, and then put some reinforcing strip steel around it. And then make up 2 little brackets to hold this exhaust cap on. Should remember that just sat on the top, but the brackets are just completely eaten out on it. So that'll need to be redone. Polish up the little bronze raven. He'll come up quite nicely. And then yeah, it'll just be removing dirt, de-rusting and repainting. So I did actually have to cut one of the bolts. There was a bolt interestingly holding in one of these panels. Must have had it fall out at some point. So but it was far too rusted to. That's it there. There's no way known I'll be able to get it undone, so I just got the grinder out and just took the head clean off it. And got the panel out without breaking it, which is the important thing. So I might be doing that for the rest of them because they've got these little metal tags right there, if you can see them, that actually hold these panels in. I might just cut those off and just drill a small hole in and just put a little nut and bolt and washer. That way I can remove these again if I need to without breaking, fatiguing any tags. So that's ready for its clean up and de-rust. So is this. I'm going to take that off and probably halve the length of that tube and put a nice brass globe holder on it. Run on high pressure sodium or something like that, as I may have stated earlier. Then yeah, clean up that, refit it, and then we should be good to go. Fit the panels back in and we'll have a nice working lantern. So that's part 1 of the vintage gas lamppost restore. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more vids on this.